Hello and welcome to this lecture. Today we are going to discuss the pharmacological effect of adenoreceptors. And last time we have discussed about the alpha receptors and beta receptors, which are the types of adenoreceptors. And in the last lecture we discussed about their distribution in the body in different tissues. So when we go one by one to understand their pharmacological effect, let's discuss the cardiovascular effect and on the blood vessels. So alpha receptors and beta receptors work opposite to each other. Like alpha receptor is responsible for vasoconstriction of the blood vessels and causes an increased arterial resistance, whereas beta 2 receptors are responsible for vasodilation effect. So the both effect uh, are different. Alpha receptors causes vasoconstriction, whereas beta 2 receptor is responsible for vasodilation effect. Whereas the D1 receptors are responsible for vasodilate renal function and splanchnic coronary and cerebral vessels. If we take a look of this picture, this is alpha 1 stimulation. If al- if a drug act on alpha 1 stimulation, alpha 1 receptor, then it causes blood vessel to constrict, and you can see this is a normal blood vessel, and here you can see the diameter of the blood vessel is big. So what happened after alpha 1 stimulation? The blood vessel become narrow and the diameter becomes small, whereas if it act on beta 2 stimulation, then it causes a vasodilation effect where you can see the diameter of the blood vessel become enlarged, and that's an example of beta 2 stimulation. When we see the activity on the cardiovascular system in the heart, the effect will be more on beta 1 receptors, will be more prominent, but we have also beta 2 receptors present. The stimulation of the receptors is responsible for calcium influx and increase of the calcium influx, and it is also responsible for positive chronotropic effect such as increased pacemaker activities on the sinoatrial node or increased conductance through AV node, atrioventricular node. It also have the positive inotropic effect as well, and responsible for increased contractility of the heart muscles. So what is actually happening with the beta 1 receptors? The activation of the beta 1 receptors is responsible for increasing the myocardial contraction by increasing the force of contraction, and that is responsible because of the positive inotropic effect. As a result, there is an increase of the force of myocardial contraction, increase the rate of contraction, but excess of stimulation is responsible for arrhythmias. What is arrhythmias? Irregular heartbeat is known as arrhythmias. So that's how the stimulation of the beta 1 receptors affect on the heart. And when we take a look of the effect on the blood pressure, pure alpha stimulation increase the arterial resistance, and that arterial resistance will responsible for increase of the blood pressure. Beta 2 stimulation causes vasodilation, which responsible for decrease of the blood pressure. And if we go back to our previous slide, like we discussed in the smooth muscles, we already discussed that the beta 2 receptors is causes vasodilation, whereas alpha receptor is responsible for vasoconstriction and arterial resistance. So if we take a look of these blood vessels and then we apply same on the blood pressure, we found same thing, that the alpha receptor stimulation is responsible for increase of the blood pressure because of the arterial resistance, because of the vasoconstriction, whereas beta stimulation is responsible for vasodilation, and as a result blood pressure decrease. So these all effect are correlated to their functions. The blood pressure and the blood vessels functions are very closely relationship, and there is a close relationship between the blood pressure and blood vessels. When we take a look on the effect on the eye, alpha receptor stimulation causes mydriasis effect, which is known as dilation, and it is also responsible for increase of the outflow of the aqueous humor, and it is also responsible for reduction of intraocular pressure, as when there will be increase of the aqueous humor, so or the function of the intraocular pressure decreases, so they are work opposite to the function. Then when we talk about their effect on the respiratory tract, beta 2 receptors act on bronchial smooth muscles, and the stimulation leads to the relaxation of the smooth muscles. So beta 2 agonist will be used especially as bronchodilator to relax the airways if they are narrowed down. And why? Because the receptors beta 2 are present on the smooth muscles. So that's how that mechanism function. Whereas the alpha receptors on the blood vessels on the present on the upper airways of the mucosa, and stimulation leads to constriction and decongestion. So again we have to see that the function of the alpha receptors are constriction, whereas the function of the beta receptors, especially beta 2, are vasodilation effect. So that is also appear in the respiratory tract, where if we see that beta 2 receptors are responsible for smooth muscle relaxation and bronchodilation, whereas alpha receptors on the blood vessels, because we already discussed the blood vessels, it can cause vasoconstriction. So that is why the stimulation leads to the constriction effect. So you have to see that the functions are very closely related, so you have to correlate the functions. Like in the blood pressure, we're discussing the about the blood vessels. Then here the respiratory tract also we have the blood vessels, so they are very closely linked to understand the pharmacological effect. When we take a look on genitourinary tract, smooth muscles of the uterus contain beta 2 receptors, and the stimulation is responsible for relaxation. So you can see that B2 receptors, if they act on bronchial smooth muscles, it causes bronchodilation, as we discussed in our previous slide. And if the beta 2 receptors act on uterine muscles, it can cause uterine relaxation. So you have to understand this thing, that the smooth muscles of the uterus contain beta 2 receptors, and their stimulation is responsible for relaxation. As we discussed same thing, that smooth muscles on the respiratory tract also contain beta 2 receptors, and that is why bronchodilation effect. So again, this is very, the key point is that wherever the beta 2 receptors on the smooth muscles, there is a bronchodilation effect. So this is, you can memorize or you can understand by understanding the distribution of the beta 2 receptors on the smooth muscles, and then their functions are similar. So that helps to understand or memorize the concept easily for you. Then bladder and prostate have alpha receptors, and stimulation promotes continence, and beta 2 receptors promote relaxation. What is meant by continence? It is defined as the process to hold the urine. So the stimulation of alpha receptors on the bladder and prostate is responsible for continence, because again alpha receptor causes vasoconstriction, so that constriction is responsible for continence. When we take a look of metabolic effect, we see the beta 3 stimulation, that is responsible for lipolysis, which means lipid lysis. So it helps to break down the lipid. Beta stimulation also responsible for glycogen lysis and gluconeogenesis. Then beta 2 stimulation is also responsible for potassium uptake into the cell. And when we take a look on endocrine functions, The function of insulin release is stimulated by beta receptors. So there will be more production of insulin because of the stimulation of the beta receptors. This is a table where we discuss about the major mediated effect of the adenoreceptors. Their alpha 1 receptors is responsible for vasoconstriction, increased peripheral resistance, increased blood pressure, mydriasis, increased closure of sphincters to the bladder. As I already discussed that they are mostly vasoconstriction, and vasoconstriction is linked to the peripheral resistance, and then it leads to the blood pressure. So these all 3 points are very closely linked. So if there is a sequence like vasoconstriction occur first, what happened then? Increase peripheral resistance, and then what happened? There is an increase of the blood pressure. Then the mydriasis and increased closure of internal sphincters dimension. When we take a look on alpha 2 receptors, it is responsible for inhibition of norepinephrine release and inhibition of acetylcholine, which are both endogenous ligands, and they are also responsible for inhibition of insulin release. When we talk about the beta receptors, especially beta 1 receptors, it is responsible for tachycardia, increased lipolysis, increased myocardial contractility, and increase the release of renin, which is responsible to modulate the blood pressure. When we talk about beta 2 receptors, it is responsible for vasodilation effect. Because of the vasodilation, it is responsible to decrease the peripheral resistance, then cause bronchodilation. So it is responsible for decreasing of the blood pressure. So if we compare this alpha 1 receptors and beta 2 receptors, they work opposite to each other. They function, so you can memorize by comparing their functions. Then if we see it, they also mention increased muscle and liver glycogenolysis, increase the release of glucagon, relax the uterine smooth muscles. So thank you so much for today's lecture. Hope to see you again, and we will discuss further in detail in our upcoming lectures.